Oscar De La Hoya didn't just make headlines, he lit a fire under the boxing world with a bold accusation that has fans buzzing. He called out Jaron Ennis for backing away from a high-stakes showdown with Vergil Ortiz Jr., suggesting Boots wasn't ready to risk it all against a real threat. According to Oscar, his team put out a direct challenge to Boots, but instead of accepting, Ennis stepped back and chose a much safer route, taking on Stanionis in a fight that offered less danger and a smaller paycheck. That move didn't go unnoticed, and De La Hoya made sure the world knew it. Boots may be undefeated with an impressive 34-0 record and 30 knockouts, but De La Hoya questions his hunger for real competition. After struggling in a close and shaky performance against Jaron Ennis, Boots may have realized he wasn't ready for the pressure Vergil Ortiz Jr. bring. Ortiz recently crushed former WBC interim 154-pound champ Serhiy Bohachuk, showing the kind of ruthless power and precision that can break fighters. So when the time came to choose between a career-risking war and a comfortable title defense, Boots made his choice, and it wasn't the bold one. De La Hoya didn't sugarcoat anything when asked about the failed matchup between Ortiz and Ennis. His response was blunt and biting. "We all know Boots doesn't want to fight Vergil." That one line hit hard, especially coming from a legend who knows the sport inside out. It wasn't just a promotional jab, it was a public challenge, daring Ennis to prove him wrong. But instead of firing back with confidence or a contract, Boots remained quiet while De La Hoya doubled down. Fans who were hungry for a fight between two young, hungry lions are left disappointed, and Oscar blames Boots' camp entirely. He made it clear that negotiations were underway. A fight was on the table, and it was Ennis's team that walked away. This isn't just about one missed fight, it's about reputation. For a fighter like Boots, who's been climbing the ranks and hyped as a future star, choosing the easier path sends a loud message, and Oscar knows exactly what it sounds like: fear. De La Hoya's final shot was brutal but honest. He said until he sees actual proof, a signed agreement, he won't believe Boots really wants to face Vergil Ortiz Jr. And after seeing Team Ennis suddenly abandon ship, who could blame him? According to Oscar, they talked tough when the cameras were on, but when it came time to get in the ring, they bailed. It's a harsh accusation, but in boxing, legacy is built on the fights you take and the ones you run from. Oscar De La Hoya's frustration with Jaron Ennis is palpable, and it isn't hard to see why. The boxing legend's reputation is built on fighting the best, and that's what fans expect from every rising star. When De La Hoya calls out Boots for ducking a fight with Vergil Ortiz Jr., it's not just about one missed opportunity, it's about the future of the sport. Fighters like Boots, who have everything to prove, need to step up when the spotlight shines brightest. By choosing a less risky path against Stanionis, Ennis might have just put his legacy in jeopardy. Ennis is known for his exceptional talent, but talent alone isn't always enough in boxing. To be considered among the greats, a fighter needs to face the toughest challenges, and Ortiz is one of the toughest in the division. Oscar made it clear that Boots had the chance to prove himself, but instead of stepping into the ring with Vergil, he chose the safer option. And while Ennis might have calculated his decision, it's a bad look for a fighter who's supposed to be hungry for greatness. Instead of taking on one of the hardest hitters in the welterweight division, he took the route that posed fewer risks, but also fewer rewards. Many fans were eagerly awaiting the bout between Boots and Vergil, and the excitement for the fight was growing. However, the way this situation has unfolded has left fans questioning the motives behind Boots' decision. When a fighter of his caliber is avoiding a high-profile matchup, it only fuels speculation. Did Ennis really believe he couldn't beat Ortiz? Or was he simply more focused on preserving his unbeaten record than testing his skills against one of the best? Either way, this is a decision that will follow him for the rest of his career. For De La Hoya, it's about more than just talking a big game. He understands the importance of challenging yourself in the ring, and he's been through the grind himself. The fights that made him a household name were against the toughest competitors out there. That's why he's so disappointed by Boots' reluctance to face Ortiz. In his eyes, Ennis had the perfect chance to prove that he was more than just hype, but instead of seizing that opportunity, he played it safe. For Oscar, a fighter's character is forged in those moments when they step up to the plate, something Ennis failed to do.